Welcome to today's breakdown of the exciting matchups in college football. Toledo versus Akron and Kent State versus Buffalo. Let's dive deep into the key players, game flow, and betting picks you need to make to maximize your chances of winning big. Toledo versus Akron. Toledo comes into this game as a dynamic pass-heavy team led by Tucker Gleason. Gleason has been consistent this season, throwing for 220 to 260 yards per game. He'll rely heavily on Jerjuan Newton, who is Toledo's top wide receiver. Expect Newton to rack up 75 to 100 yards in this game. On the flip side, Akron's Ben Finley would try to lead his team with 210 to 240 passing yards, but the challenge will be real against Toledo's solid defense. Finley will depend on Adrian Norton and Jordan Simmons to put up a combined 90 to 120 receiving yards. However, Akron's lack of a strong run game could lead to Finley having to throw more than he'd like, which increases the chances of turnovers. So you can bet on an interception or two if you're feeling like it. Game flow prediction: Toledo is likely to build an early lead with Gleason airing it out to Newton. Akron will struggle to keep up, forcing Finley to pass more, which could result in mistakes. Look for Toledo to dominate, especially in the second half when Akron has to abandon the run game. Top betting picks: Gleason over 220 passing yards. Toledo will rely on him to move the ball. Newton over 75 receiving yards. Expect big numbers from Toledo's top receiver. Finley to throw an interception. Given the pressure from Toledo's defense, a turnover is likely. Kent State versus Buffalo. Kent State is a balanced team, but their success will hinge on the legs of Kai Thomas, their senior running back. Thomas has been strong, consistently rushing for 70 to 100 yards and will be a focal point of the offense. Quarterback Tommy Ulatowski, who's averaging 190 to 220 yards passing, will look to Krishan McCrary, the key wide receiver, and Luke Fleury to stretch the defense and provide big play potential. McCrary should accumulate 60 to 80 receiving yards in a game. Buffalo brings a more explosive approach with C.J. Ogbonna, who has the dual threat ability to throw for 225 to 250 yards and rush for 50 yards in a game. We're talking Ravens-type quarterback. His main weapon in the passing game will be J.J. Jenkins, who can easily top 80 yards and score a touchdown. Jake Orlando, the tight end, will provide a solid outlet for short yardage games, and A.J. Henderson will contribute as a secondary option. My game flow prediction is Kent State will look to control the game early with a heavy dose of Kai Thomas. However, Buffalo, Ogbonna, and Jenkins will make a push in the second half, making this a potentially tight contest. Buffalo's ability to score quickly could put Kent State in a position where they need to pass more, which could lead to high-scoring drives and significant yardage totals for both quarterbacks and wide receivers. My betting picks are Ogbonna for over 225 passing yards. Look for him to air it out with Jenkins as his primary target. Jenkins for over 80 receiving yards. He's the go-to guy for Buffalo, and we'll see heavy usage. McCrary for over 60 receiving yards. Kent State will rely on him for big plays. Kai Thomas for over 70 rushing yards. Kent State will lean on him to grind out tough yardage. My final thoughts and betting insights: for Toledo versus Akron, Toledo's passing attack is a strength here, with Gleason finding Newton early and often. Akron's defense will struggle to contain Toledo's offense, leading to a higher scoring game. Akron's, led by Ben Finley, will likely be forced to play catch-up, which increases their chances of turnovers. Their inability to establish a run game will hurt them. For Kent State versus Buffalo, Kai Thomas will lead the charge for Kent State, but Buffalo's balanced offense with Ogbonna and Jenkins will be tough to stop, especially if the game becomes a high-paced affair. Defenses of both teams will bend, won't break, leading to potentially big plays in the passing and rushing game. Bet smart. Trust Gleason and Newton to go over their respective yardage totals. Bet on Ogbonna and Jenkins for strong performances. Don't overlook Kai Thomas. He'll be a workhorse for Kent State. Place your bets strategically, enjoy the games. Remember, it's not just about who wins, but how the key players perform. Let's make some winning picks today.